Yeah. So
But
let's talk about how long, I mean, the demand side. We got to talk about the demand side, how long this demand or stay at home is going to occur. And let's look at this like the peak growth that we observed is the April 4th. And since then it's been pretty steady. So we're like in a linear trend now rather than the exponential trend that we saw before. So this is a good sign. So maybe this is the peak growth right now. And for example, Virginia, I think they passed a law, not law, amended order, it says, on March 30th to stay at home until June 10th, 2020. That's the entire second quarter in the economy, like in the market. Same thing with New Mexico. I think they were gonna do 3 week school shutdown and then stay at home for those 3 weeks. That was ended last Friday, but they gave out another order that would keep people at home until April 30th. So that's also a third of the second quarter that we are talking about. And I don't know how New York is. Has New York set any stay at home date in the state? Do you know?
I haven't actually seen recently if there have been any changes, but I imagine that it's it's probably going to be extended,
Mm-hmm.
just like what you're talking about here. I didn't realize that we already had at least one state that had extended it out to June 10th. I
Right.
think that is like you're going to see a lot of states who were slow to adopt stay-at-home orders who will be looking to get out of the stay-at-home orders as quickly as possible,
Mm-hmm.
or the ones that took action early but would like to try to return to some economic activity in their states. You're going to see some governors that are going to be pushing the envelope on that, and we'll see how it works out. I mean, ultimately, you can do whatever you want, and when you lift orders like that, and people go back out into if there's nothing holding people home or having consequence to them being at home,
Mm-hmm.
or not being at home, going back out in public, they will. Aside from, you'll have a lot of people who will still not go to a lot of places that they had been going before the pandemic,
Right.
but a lot of people will go back out into different, public spaces, and they will likely be at risk again to start getting sick again.
Yeah.
So it is very possible, if not later in the summer, going into the fall, that we have another serious threat if there aren't large scale, uh, you know, uh, protocols kind of in place again, like lockdowns and social
Right.
distancing. If people aren't respecting those types of things, then we'll see something very similar play
Happen
out
again.
probably in the fall.
Yeah,
And
it's
we
called
still
the
have,
second wave, right?
yeah. So like it is a threat. I don't know how many people are respecting that threat, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how much the economy is respecting the idea of that being a thing for the rest of the year. And
Yeah.
then the time until we get a vaccine, like really until you get that, I don't know what real long term solutions you have. And then also for the new cases, yeah, in order to support knowing how many cases you have to have widespread testing, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're close to being in a position where we can have wide ranging testing available everywhere in the U.S., which we need if we're going to come out of any kind of lockdown and return to
Yeah.
more economic activity. So like how much, and this is a open question because I don't actually have any idea, but like how many, or what is the likelihood of the number of cases not rising because we just don't have the testing in all of those places to really know or check it. I would say that your number of hospitalizations and your number of deaths are probably a better metric of where you're at, because testing in itself just might not be getting everybody, especially with the number of people that don't show symptoms or have
Yeah.
light symptoms and don't ever get tested.
Yeah. So
Um,
one thing that I learned yesterday is the success of South Korea. Like they not only had wide testing available throughout the country, but they also reverse traced all the people that were tested positive. Given the symptoms that they're showing, they would backtrack, 3 to 7 days. And if you live in the area, like on your smartphones, it'll say, hey, patient 31 has been to these locations on these days. Please avoid these locations for a while. And they were able to actually backtrace a lot of the patients this way, which is
that's pretty
super,
insane.
super impressive. But the United States, with privacy concerns,
Yeah.
it's a very hard thing to do while keeping the privacy. And so, like the United States, if you look at the trend, it's very similar to the Italy cases, and Italy is seeing a decrease in new number of daily cases. However, it's very slow, and so we might have to expect a similar trend in the United States. So yeah, this is gonna be painful
Hmm.
for an
Yeah.
extended amount of time. The effectiveness of infinite QE, in my mind, has limitations. All right, thanks for watching, guys and gals. I'll see you in the next video, in our next conversation. If you like the video, please hit like below. And if you would like to see the next video, please hit subscribe. Thanks.